ولنا مع اللغة الإنجليزية وقفات. توك شو.
Creative Box.
Talented Member.
English for you.
English Fun.
ولنا مع اللغة الإنجليزية وقفات.
لمن يمتلك الشغف للتعرف على أسرارها وخباياها،
ولمن لا يمتلك رصيداً كافياً من حروفها المذهلة، نعرفكم على حقيقة هذه اللغة في برنامج واحة اللغة الإنجليزية.
واحة اللغة الإنجليزية.
البرنامج من إعداد وتقديم
عمر حماد.
Dear listeners, welcome again at our session today at Ministry of Education Radio English Language Voice program. We have a new, school year, so back to school, and we will discuss that. In this session, we will discuss together how to prepare ourselves as teachers and for the students to prepare themselves for the new school year. And it's my honor having here Miss Asma Mustafa. Miss Asma Mustafa, at first, congratulations for your winning the Creative Teacher for 2021 at first. And I wish you the best for the upcoming years, inshallah.
Thank you very much, and many thanks for your invitation here for the Ministry of Education Radio. Thank you, but the prize was for 2022.
2022. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm so sorry. So you have a lot of words. Before that, you got in a global teacher.
Yes.
So it is like a bit of you that winning something like this. So congratulations.
Many thanks.
And we are proud of you. Proud having
Same
distinguished teachers like you.
Thank you.
As you are a best teacher for the Ministry of Education, and it's their honor having you as a teacher at Ministry of Education. Actually, we discussed together about the preparing for the new school year and according to the preparation for our students. And before that, as a teacher, how did I prepare myself? How did I deal with everything related to my students? And actually, Miss Asma, as the best teacher here for the Ministry of Education and here in Gaza, and you got a lot of awards according to that. So maybe you have something different, and we want to just to share your preparation tasks for your students to other teachers. So before we start, what about you as a teacher? You prepared yourself for the new school year.
Yeah, thank you for the question. It's a very important question because every beginning, is difficult, but it is at the same time is powerful. If you start strong, you continue strong with your students, with yourself, with your motivation at the same time.
Yes.
But if you start the new year with kind of boring or whatever, there are so many different emotions among teachers nowadays, according to so many criteria.
According to you as a teacher, you prepare yourself psychologically and physically and everything related to that's very nice.
Everything is important. Every single detail for you as a teacher inside the classroom is very important. For me as a teacher, I always start, talking to my students, arrange them, I make elections for the head of the class and the vice head, and the responsible of the
the members, the main members of the classroom. Very nice.
Everything is taken in consideration by a kind of elections. I give the students the opportunity to candidate themselves and to elect the others, so that they would be a kind of agreement.
Freely for everything.
Yes, and everything. I want this system. I love the classroom to be well organized, because if you have what is called relaxed environment, you can do miracles inside your classroom.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, this is one thing I take care. The other thing, I ask my students in the first class to give me the list of, you know, the list of preventions. What are the things that you are allowed to do inside a classroom, or what are the things that you are not allowed to do inside the classroom? For example, you're not allowed to go outside without a permission. They say this to me. I don't
you mean that you will prepare with your students the poster of
instructions.
rules poster.
Yes,
rules
laws,
poster.
excellent.
Yeah.
Laws, rules, what is everything, okay? I ask them to give me what do they think, whether they are in the 8th grade or the 10th grade, because I teach nowadays the 8th and the 10th grades at the same time. So
they are so lucky, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I am lucky because of them. They obey my rules. They listen to their teachers. They respect the teachers in my school. And I have a wonderful, you know, team of work.
Yeah.
You know, when you work in a lovely atmospheres, you love your work.
Yeah.
So that you can make it creative.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I found that as a teacher, I have to prepare myself to prepare everything related to me, my textbook, my schedule, and I manage my time for my students to start the new school year. And related to that, you actually you prepared your classroom and the rules that the rules that you will go and your students will follow.
Yes, follow for the whole year.
I guess that's something important for teachers, because maybe this is a starter for a good relationship between teacher and student. And if they have a good relationship, I don't think that there is there are no problems will occur after that. That's very nice, actually. So for your students, you prepare your students maybe their textbooks, and they have something special, or their notebook.
Of course.
Yeah. So how did you find this year? Maybe something
this
distinguished
is
or
better than before. You know why? Because we have had a lot of troubles with COVID-19 before and during COVID, post-COVID. Last year, do you remember, after COVID-19, when we came back to schools, we've had so many troubles.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
you know, most of the students were not ready for studying. They were waiting to cut the studying year because, and go back to online learning.
Yeah.
Right? But last year, alhamdulillah, it was, you know, regular.
It is.
And this year, I think COVID-19 has gone over.
I hope so.
I hope so. But still, we are suffering a little because of what COVID-19 caused, a gap. So that's what I launched an initiative last year, and I continue this year. It's called Learn How to Learn English.
Excellent. Yes.
Yeah, this is, you know, when you hear the title, you guess that there is something, you know, related to speaking, listening, native speakers, everything. Okay, everything like this I do, but I focused here on writing, spelling, like if you have a first grade student.
Yeah, you mean the gap related to students writing skill?
Yes. The gap, COVID-19 caused a very big gap in the learning process. Even if you look at Tawjih students, you can ask them.
You're right. They didn't write during COVID-19. Maybe they watch a video or something for the teacher. Yeah.
The best ones typed, but what about the others? I know that there are so many families wrote in behalf of their sons and daughters. You
Excellent.
know,
You're right.
One of the negative points for the online learning. But what I do every year, a diagnostic test. I depend on I do believe that if you want to, just like the doctors, if you want to see where is the weaknesses point, you can make a test.
So do you think that teachers, they have to do that, or
Of
it
course.
is maybe
Of
optional?
course. Unless the students are the same, are with the same level, and they are all weak or they are all middle. I don't think so, because you know, there
We
is
have individual differences, by the way.
between students. Yes.
You're right. So this is another point that is related to the teacher to prepare himself or herself, that preparing for the students for the diagnosis test, and
Yeah.
because to
To make a
show
plan.
show about
Make a
the
plan.
weaknesses
Yes.
and the strengths that
It
they,
shows, it can tell you that there are,
where are they
strength
good.
point,
Mhm.
weakness points, and some common mistakes, you know, in the middle. You can make a remedial teacher, a remedial material for listening, speaking. You know, you can focus on the most important points that you see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the
I
common
got it.
weakness in this
Yeah.
point, and you can develop by more exercise along the year, and so you know.
The remedial
hard
material
work.
related to the diagnosis
Of
that we
course.
achieved, and the
Yeah.
teacher actually has to follow up the
Yes.
diagnosis to the remedial material, or the remedial plan, I mean,
Yes.
before starting the remedial material. That's very nice.
Before distributing the students' books, even before beginning with anything, I distribute this diagnostic. My students used to look, you know, to complain that
Yeah,
Mrs.
we-
Asma
we-
started with an exam.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they
We
they
can
have
call
a problem with
a
exams.
placement test. We can call
Yes.
it is just
It's for me. I tell them
abilities
it's for me. It's not for you. You can now here tell me
about you.
about you.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's
But
very
they are
nice.
scared because this is a culture in Palestine. Unfortunately, students study for the exams. And if you find a Tawjihi student
This is
who
a
get
catastrophe,
a
by the way.
full mark, and I recommend you that you can do a whole session about this.
We did
topic.
actually, and we will do
Yeah, more
more.
and more, and give the students, the teachers actually, not the students, more pieces of advice how to deal with the Palestinian curriculum.
And we will discuss it for today, by the way,
Inshallah.
for the prep and the primary
Inshallah.
students. Maybe some of the parents, they told me that they want to just share something about the curriculum,
Yeah.
and they listen to us how to deal with the curriculum
Yeah.
itself. So we are in, we can say that we are in need to discuss all things related to that. So Miss Asma, related to the teaching English in particular, as you know, some of them, they mentioned that English language is something difficult for us.
Yeah.
But it actually, I don't think so. What do you think about that?
I don't think English is difficult because English is a language. If you deal it with as it is a language, a spoken language, you will love it.
Yeah.
And if you listen much, you can speak much. If you read much, you can write much. That's it. But unfortunately, we miss practice among students. Here,
So
students
is it-
are
is
with a
it re-
high
sorry.
numbers of.
Sorry to interrupt you for
That's
this.
okay.
Is it related to the curriculum? The curriculum is not
I don't
perfect.
think so. The curriculum is good. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is how teachers deal with the curriculum and how we ask the students to do the homework. It's okay, you know, some unfortunately, some students receive the English skills not as a skills, as just like mathematics. It's just a lesson. They can keep by heart.
Yeah.
And they can write down the answers without understanding, without listening to the native speakers of English, without listening to the teachers. If I speak in front of my students like this accent, they say, please, you know, slowly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
you're
I do
right.
this with them because poor
Yeah. So
students, they are
yeah, they
young
told me
learners.
in Tawjihi, actually, they just sent to me messages, please don't speak in English, we don't know anything.
Yeah, because
So
they are not
why-
used
Yeah,
before.
Why 12 years, that's a student from grade 1 to grade 12, they are studying English, and the outcomes, there's nothing. My
yeah.
teacher, please speak
Because
in
we
Arabic.
kill them. We kill them.
How?
We kill them because we ask them just to keep this by heart. And if you come and the community, the parents have a great rule in changing this.
Yeah, the culture itself.
Yes. If you ask your daughter or your son, I want, yes, say 1 plus, you prepare your goals and say, you ask your daughter to keep by heart without understanding.
To save, yeah, got it.
Have you ever thought of opening a video, a short story on YouTube that is a translated one or not a translated. You can ask your daughters, your students. The same thing. I'm talking about daughters, sons.
We are, by the way, we are parents and also
Yes.
we are teachers.
Yeah. You can
right.
ask them to follow a story without translation, just with the lyrics, with the
Yeah.
written text. They would love it. And they would ask you again and again to do this for them inside of, for example, the computer laboratory if you have a free class. And one of my experience is the e-twinning, and you know about this, and you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
done
I
so
have
many things about
With them.
e-twinning.
Yeah, that's right.
E-twinning, I found e-twinning is the solve of the problem, the solution. I solved the problem
Yeah.
with a solution, but unfortunately, you're talking about 12 years of studying English. It's like one by one, step by step. If
The
you
problem
lost
still
one,
from the beginning.
yeah, if you lost one,
Yeah.
you would never, you know,
Actually, we can say the basic that we are not just strengthens our basic.
course.
So everything that we are built, there is nothing. Yeah.
Oh, and look, if you look at the curriculum, you know, we have talked much about curriculum. If you look at like the curriculum from 1 to 4th grade, you notice that it's all about listening, speaking. But unfortunately, we saw that the students are asked to write. What is this? Read. You know, to be examined. This
Yeah.
is the culture you study for the exams, and this
Yes.
is why we notice the very big problem in tawjihi.
You mentioned
ask
something
them,
related to
yeah.
the gap. That's,
Yes, yes.
actually, this is
Yes.
the point here. We have the
The
gap.
roles of the teacher of English is, you know, are very great, because teachers are nowadays not only transferring the information. Students do not need the information only. You need to teach them how to learn. You need to give them more exercise. You need to follow them, correct their, you know, ask them, take care of every single student in your classroom.
okay,
And we have very
we-
high numbers of,
For teacher nowadays,
Yeah.
I don't think that they are traditional one,
Of
because
course.
they updated themselves and they are facilitated, they are
Yeah.
creative, they are teachers, they are coach.
yeah, but this is hard.
Yeah, so this is hard. I have a virtual call with Miss Malak Abu Hamda. So, hi, Miss Malak. Assalamu alaikum. Are you with me? That's very nice. We are so happy that you are with us in this session talking about a back to school and related to how to start and how to to start the new school here. So as you are a trainer and an educational expert, so what can you share us about DEBS? Before that, please introduce yourself for us.
Yes. Frankly, I would like to thank you, Dr. Omar, for hosting me in your program.
You're welcome, actually.
Yeah.
So I need a little bit about you, if you don't mind, please, Miss Malak.
My name is Malak Abu Hamda. Regarding to my education, I graduated from Al-Aqsa University in English language.
Yeah.
Then I had a master's degree in business administration in the Islamic University. Regarding to my job, I worked as an English teacher and a trainer in our Senior Student Care Association.
Very nice.
And nowadays, I'm working at insurance company.
That's fantastic, actually. So, your experience related to English language and for dealing with TEBS, how to start dealing with the curriculum or maybe dealing with the English language. So, we are listening to you for just giving us something about these steps.
Yeah. This is the way to success. First of all, setting goals. This helps a student to know what they want to achieve. For example, if I notice that I have some weakness or drops in listening, I'll make some effort to master it by listening to videos in English, also with an English subtitle, not Arabic.
Very nice.
Second, you have to be organized and to make timetable at the beginning of the new school year. It's important for students to ensure they have all the right supplies, books, and tools they need.
Amazing. Yes.
If you want to carry on any task, you have to avoid distraction. This is very important for students. They have to seek help as required. Please don't hesitate asking for assistance. Students should be ensuring do this at the time they are learning a particular topic, not just at a period to a test or exam. So they have to seek help at any time they need.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, take in consideration that I have to take one step on a time, not more than 2 steps or extra. That's very important to students to, as ability is the key to success. With a bit more effort, you have to find you break through the wall. Remember that no pain, no gain. And don't stop until you feel proud of yourself. Keep going and remember that learning is a comma, not a full stop.
Excellent. Yes.
Yeah. This is my tip.
That's very
for
nice.
students.
I like the last one that you the process of learning or teaching, it is like a comma, not a full stop, and this is just this short in a lot of things that we can say. So actually, Miss Malak, this is a really valuable and inverted call according to that. So really, I appreciate that. So. It is depends not only for the students themselves. In addition to that, parents have to deal with this culture and work hard for with their kids, with their sons and daughters, in order to find the way that they would like to be one day. So actually, thank you very much for being with me in this session, talking about your experience in this field. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Actually, Ms. Malak mentioned something important related to the teaching process or learning English. As this is not a full stop. We have to complete. We have to work hard, because no end for something that I say I'm perfect. I finished something.
Of course.
So what about your comments according to that?
No one finishes education.
Yeah.
You could learn from the very beginning, the first day in your life, till the end, to the last second in your life. Education is a part of this life, and the classrooms are the lives for so many students. And I can add that teachers try as much as you can, make your classrooms as your rooms inside homes. And those students are your guests here.
Absolutely.
And if you do this, of course, we would have a very completed educational process, and students would love to learn and would love to ask much and would love to add, would love to search, would love to bring you some, for example, materials, would like to help even in and participate much inside the activities, and this is what we want at last. I want an active students in an active learning process. Depends on the learners themselves. They would love to learn, and so many teachers ask, how can I do this, and how can I, if you do so and so, they would never love education, they would never love classroom, because look around you, look at you yourself as a teacher. Try, of course, and I take care much of the
appearance of you. The appearance of you is very important.
The colors that I use on the blackboard, the variety of the activities. I depend on games. And this is very important to involve as many as students inside.
Actually, we found that some students, they said, "I'm waiting for your class. I'm waiting so much. Why? Because I feel relaxed. I feel
I want
something,
to play.
There is something
I want
in you.
to play.
I won't be in boring situation. And this is actually
this is so true.
Make you that you are proud of yourself and proud of what you are just
and
sharing.
even the teachers get power. And they give
the energy itself.
Yes,
Positive
motivation.
energy.
I take motivation from my students.
And
I take the feedback.
That's when they are actually the sharing or swapping the positive energy if we share something according to that. Okay, so we have something related to the mechanisms of teaching English language, and maybe parents they face a lot of things, a lot of problems when they start dealing with the first the first time if they teach or the parents they are not educated or they
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know.
this is a big problem.
Yeah, and they
of
don't know
course.
how to deal with with their kids about English language, and most of them they are just for English language, especially they said to me, okay, study by yourself, or
Yeah,
they just
depend
send
on
them,
yourself, you know.
send-
but
send them to
I want you to be the best.
yeah,
For this. Like this.
yeah. So this is actually a very difficult
Yes.
issue that we can share. So how for parents they can deal with their student, with their kids or their children according to the curriculum itself. And I hope that most of some of these listeners they listen to us to know the mechanisms that they can deal with
Of course.
according to their kids. So
Homes, houses, and schools are with the same, you know, completing each other. In our local community, this is so real. Schools, so many students of mine do not know any place except their houses and their schools. And believe me, I heard this from so many different ones.
yeah.
Okay, this way that we can say for the parents, please try to be,
share us something.
Yes.
Yeah, share us something.
visit us,
Yeah.
visit schools. This is number one. Follow us on Google Classroom. And if you are not educated, it's okay, just follow us. I want you to follow us. And so many ones in COVID-19, I noticed in my live classes, you know, this is a student here, and this is a part of her mother, you know,
Yeah.
sitting, and I asked them, you know, I want to say hi to your mom, and
Yeah.
she make the camera, she take the camera like this for her mom, and my mom wants to say something. Yes, I want you to tell me something about your daughter.
Excellent.
This is one
That's
thing.
so nice.
And the schools have a role in inviting.
So
the
you mean
parents.
they don't need for more ideas about the curriculum? They just wanted to follow you
Of
and
course.
to let the kids
Because they can't teach English. You know, I have a daughter in classroom 1, in grade 1, and in grade 2. I follow that teachers, although I am a teacher, but I'm not dedicated in teaching grade 1, grade 2. I
Yeah.
learn from those my peers how to teach my daughters at home.
yeah.
And this is what I want, because I'm a mother, and I want the mothers of my students to do the same. If not the mothers, the fathers. If not the fathers, the older brothers
the
and
eldest
sisters.
brother
Yes.
or sister. Yeah, that's
You know,
for
just
sure.
follow your daughters and sons' achievement. Encourage them by something. You know, they like this. You know, they love, you know, some sweets, some chocolates. And I sometimes
Maybe
do this inside a
just
classroom.
motivating them for
Yes,
something like
especially in the very beginning of the year, because in the instructions and not following the instructions, you know, the unclean classroom, the unclean, you know, I sometimes become angry.
Yeah.
I,
So our message now for teachers, maybe most of them, they are asking how I can deal with the parents. For English language teachers, the message here from this program that's sharing you, that you wanted them to follow you up. You do not say to the teacher, to the parents, go and study English and learn
Of
English. So just you want to say that when your son or your daughter return back to the home, ask them, what did you take for today?
Yes.
That's it. Okay, open your
let me see
open
your book.
open your
Let me
notes.
see your book.
Your
Let me see
notebook. Your notebook.
for
Have you
example.
correct for today or
The
not?
students in this way feels that someone is caring about him. We're not saying that following.
That's the
him.
point. So
Caring about you.
most of the teachers ask
That-
me how
yeah,
do you
that's
deal
true.
with the parents. I'm just saying it's easy for you to say that, okay, follow us and open your kids textbook and the notebook and look about it.
Yes.
You can find the progress and
look.
achievements. Actually, we have a break now, and after the break we can discuss about the recommendations, and we have another inverted call. Thank you.
تسلح بالإيمان وإرادة من حديد تجد حلمك طوع البنان
فقم بادر لا تمل هيا لتصنع الأمل لنجعل أرضنا بيتا جميلا
من يقينا لا مستحيلا لا مستحيلا بالأمل آمن يقينا آمن يقينا لا مستحيلا لا مستحيلا بالأمل آمن يقينا كريما كالغيوم كن وردا للعطاء اسعى وفرج الهموم لا تنتظر ابدا ثناء مهما مرت السنون لا تقل فتى الاوان نفرزوا فيأكلون هذه هي سنة السماء
بادر لا تمل هيا لتصنع الأمل لنجعل أرضنا بيتا جميلا
آمن يقينا لا مستحيلا لا مستحيلا بالأمل آمن يقينا آمن يقينا لا مستحيلا لا مستحيلا بالأمل آمن يقينا آمن يقينا
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to our session talking about back to school for Minister of Education Radio English Language OAS program 102.1. And for today, we are just discussed about the mechanisms for teaching English language according to parents. And for parents, I'm so lucky having here a mother to three daughters, and she is a science teacher, but now she will talk about English language, and she will discuss about how the way that she actually deals with her kids in using English language. So we have Miss Asma Salim, and she will be with us. Hi, Miss Asma, are you with me? Yeah, okay. So till you come to us, I think that parents speaking English language, using English is something important, by the way. And having here Miss Asma and as a success story, by the way, dealing with English language, and she is this is not her subject, but working hard to follow up in order to be one of the parents who are succeeded in dealing with her daughters and with her kids in using English language and dealing with English language. Actually, so we have here Miss Asma. Are you with me?
Two Asmas.
Yeah, we have two Asmas here.
Yeah, find the third one. We get the treasure.
I hope so. Okay. So, actually, maybe we are just waiting here to be with us. Miss Asma, are you with me?
Yeah.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, and welcome, Dr. Omar.
You are welcome. So actually, we are so happy and so glad that you are with us today for the session talking about back to school and the mechanisms of dealing with English language in particular. So before that, please introduce yourself for us.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be with you, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about this essential topic. My name is Asma Salim. I'm 34 years old. I live in Rafah. I'm a mother to three daughters. I'm not an English teacher. I'm a science teacher.
That's
and
very
now
nice.
I'm learning English, and I'm a volunteer with Al Fakhura English Club.
That's very nice. We are so proud of you. So as you know that your journey started in dealing with your kids according to English language and maybe for the school. Did you prepare yourself well for the new school year?
Yeah.
Could you just tell us about your journey from the beginning?
Yeah, the first, I wish all students a lovely time at the school, happy school year.
Mm-hmm.
For me, as a mother, and I have children in school,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need to find ways to encourage my kids to get ready for the new year. As you know, most kids stay awake for a long time in summer vacation, so I started to organize their time, practice the new bedtime, and wake up time of my kids before school actually starts. In
Nice.
addition to, I listen to their opinions about the school, their feeling about going to school. I think it's very important to listen and respect their opinions. That will build them confidence.
Mm-hmm. That's very
And
nice.
sometimes, yes, sometimes I share my experience and tell my kids one stories about when I first went to school and how I felt. I have to choose a
You share them your experience just to follow you up. You mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And
Yeah,
something else, I set study goals with my kids on a paper, and whenever they achieve a goal, I give them a star. At the end of the week, whoever gets more stars get a gift.
Excellent.
Finally, as you know, I bought school uniforms, bags, and school stationery. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Actually, this is a very important point here. So maybe English language, and you are a science language, and you speak English actually very well, and this is something good. So you do not feel any, you don't have any problems related to teaching English.
Yeah.
You are. I think that I'm right for this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, can you share us tips for moms in general? How they can deal with English language when they want to teach their kids?
Yeah, first we know there are three axes of learning in general: teacher, student, and parent.
Yeah.
All of them should be interconnected in order to achieve the desired goal or message. If I'm not mistaken, the primary stage is the best stage for building the English language correctly. And it's wow if the child has finished primary school and has a large amount of words, sentence, and can read. So let me tell you how I follow English teacher. Number one, I make sure there are no distractions around while I'm learning them. In fact, a child has an extremely low attention and may get easily distracted and lose interest in studying. As you know, children consider English is really difficult to understand because English is not their first language.
Right, you are right.
And number two, focus on learning, not the grades at the beginning.
That's yes.
Yeah, number three, make a study schedule for work, write them, repeat them every day, and sometimes write a sentence and do more exercise.
Yeah, yeah.
At the end, yeah.
These are your kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's very nice. Okay. What else that you can share us?
Yes. At the end, if I note that my kids have bad grades, contact teacher and blend together to develop good level.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much, Miss Asma, for what you mentioned for us, for sharing your experience in dealing with your kids. Thank you very much for being with us in this program, talking about the session related to back to school. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Actually, she mentioned a lot of things related to the maybe the curriculum and how to deal with the kids. But I need your recommendations, Ms. Asma, related to you in both as a teacher and as a parent, as a mother, for your kids. So just share us your recommendations for the students themselves, for teachers, and for parents, by the way.
Yeah, let me start with teachers. I recommend all teachers to be patient, more patient, and to deal with the students friendly.
Yeah.
And as I told you, to prepare before the very beginning of the year.
Yes.
Start strong in order to end strong,
Mhm.
and of course divide your classroom and start with you should have leaders of the groups. You have groups and collaborative kind of work, what is called grouping work
Mhm.
in teaching English is very important. And I recommend all teachers nowadays
Mhm.
to set up their virtual classrooms, because these virtual classrooms can help you to, for example, to capture a photo inside the classroom for the blackboard, and to resend it for
WhatsApp,
the
group or
virtual classroom,
Mhm.
in order to have a kind of
Mhm. Yeah, connection. You
yes.
mean. A connection. Yes,
yeah.
that's very nice.
Yeah, this is for teachers.
What about?
Be more patient.
Yeah, this
That's
is
it.
the
Work
headlines,
hard.
The headline.
Work hard. We need strategies, and if something does not work, try to change the strategy.
Yeah, I
Okay.
will mention something related to the learning styles for
Yeah.
our students. Maybe they are not in the same way.
Of
They
course.
do not understand the way that maybe
Yes.
we think. Maybe I'm sharing the visual part. I
Yes.
neglect the oral one, and maybe
Yes.
I deal with visual and oral.
Yeah.
I neglect the physical one. But actually, you know that when just they listen,
vary.
maybe
Yes.
they listen to something only, maybe they forget. But when they see something, they memorize or remind
But
themselves.
when they interact with,
When they do,
Yes.
they won't forget.
of course,
Yeah, this is
they would
actually.
learn
Yeah, they
it
will learn a lot.
forever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Excellent.
for the students themselves,
Mhm.
I can say two things.
Mhm.
Focus on two things
Yep.
in studying English and technology.
Mhm.
Okay, study all the courses, they are all subjects, but
Mhm.
English and technology are not subjects.
Subject for the promising future.
yeah, for the future,
Mhm.
of course, and they can work on the future from now on.
Mhm.
They won't need, for example, any courses after graduating from the universities if they focus on practice nowadays.
Yeah.
And they take courses from the very beginning of from a young age,
Mhm.
and they can, of course, speak English fluently. And how come? How many people were born with an English fluently or with fluent Arabic? Of course,
Yeah.
nobody.
Mhm.
But by practice, of course, practice
Practice
comes,
makes perfect.
Excellent.
Ah, that's right.
All.
Yeah.
That summarizes everything. Practice and a
Actually,
practice and a practice
yeah.
English.
Yeah, for parents, they have to follow up, I guess.
course.
And this is something important for them. Actually, at the end of the session, I want to just share my thanks for you and just
You're welcome.
for everything that you mentioned.
You're welcome.
Actually, a lot of recommendations, a lot of strategies that they have to follow for the teachers, starting from dividing their classroom according to their abilities and finding the poster of the rules that they have to share, and let them freely elect what they want to do and not to do, and making the diagnosis test for student in academic affairs for them in order to improve their levels, and they coming to you to improve themselves, not because they do not do anything. And we have listened from Miss Malak talking about a very important point that we have to learn. There is nothing can stop me in learning or getting something else. So the learning process is like a comma, not a full stop, and this is something I actually like it. Moving to Miss Asma Salim, and she mentioned how she actually deal with her kids and how to deal and how to manage their time according to the biological clock for this time, and this is actually a very important points related to the new school year. Thank you very much again, Ms. Asma.
welcome.
Thanks for the inverted calls who called us, and thanks for the engineer Ahmed. Thank you, Mr. Ahmed, for being with me in this session. Thanks for all who listened to me. Thank you. Goodbye.